So last season, Coventry City played a total of 30 games away from home, and that's not even counting an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. And as a die-hard Coventry City fan who went to every single game last season, I'm going to be ranking all 30 of the away days. Now, if I talk about a game on this channel and you can't quite remember it, or you're interested in watching my matchday vlog, all 57 games from last season are in a playlist on this channel. We're going to be doing the same thing next season, so do subscribe. Darmstadt away, Werder Bremen and Everton both at home, already confirmed. Exciting stuff. Anyway, we're going to start off this list at number 30, the worst, the bottom of the barrel, Rotherham away. So Rotherham ended last season with a total of 5 wins, and yet one of the results ended up being against us on a cold Tuesday night when we were in really, really bad form. Callum O'Hare made a return. I think that's probably the only positive of the night. But just look at that starting 11. It's absolutely miles away from what we ended up kind of getting used to by the end of the season. Little embarrassing looking back on this one, really. Wasn't a great night. 29th, Birmingham City away. The second worst away performance of the season. We honestly just didn't show up, and it was a little embarrassing. Another one of the relegated teams that absolutely turned us over on the day. It's mad to think that this game was a week before the Wembley game against Man United. It's like we'd already won the Birmingham game in the players' heads and they'd just forgotten about that game. I mean, if it means anything, it's the best Birmingham City performance I've ever seen. 28th, Leicester City away. Right, let me just take you back here. First away game of the season. First M69 derby in over a decade. Fads puts us in the lead. Unreal scenes in that away end. To then go on to lose the game, it was a little bit of a dagger in the heart, really. We played really well. I remember Hadji hit the bar. Eccles put in a really, really good performance at fullback, but it just wasn't our day. This would probably be a little bit lower, but we beat them at home 3-1. So 28th, can't put it any higher, can't really put it lower than the other two. 27th, Blackburn Rovers away. By this point, the season was kind of done with, kind of forgotten about. It's last away game of the season, and it's just such a forgettable away game, if I'm honest. Other than Kitchen being sent off, Fads getting a decent send-off from a slot, and me wearing these atrocious 3/4 lengths. Just a forgettable away day, really. 26th, Cardiff City. I think this is a prime example of we never start a season very well. I think there's just something about the Welsh away games, isn't it? Especially Cardiff, not a big fan. Lost 3-2. I can't even believe we scored 2 goals on the night. Just not ideal. We didn't turn up, just like the Cardiff fans who only turn up when they play Swansea or Bristol City. 25, Norwich City. Right then, where do I start on this one? We never win at Norwich anyway. O'Hare puts us in the lead. Get a player sent off and Borja Sainz gives it the big one. Lose 2-1. At the time as well, this was a massive 6-pointer. If we wanted to push for playoffs, we had to get something against Norwich, who inevitably did finish in that top 6. Yeah, I just remember being fuming on the way back from this one. 24th, Bristol City. I said at the time, and I'll say it again, how did we lose this game? I'll never forget how well we started. This game feels like years ago, but I remember that first half an hour, we were really good. We were peppering them with shots. And then after Bristol City took the lead, it was like we were the team 1-0 up and we didn't offer anything coming forward. Could put this one a little bit lower on the list, but we'd already picked up some decent wins over Blackburn, QPR, Middlesbrough at this point, and things started to look like they were gelling. And a game that was only slightly better than this one was 23rd, AFC Wimbledon. The night the infamous Jake Bidwell chant was started, Matty Godden gives us the lead, and we seem to just be easing into the next round of the League Cup. There's, 5 minutes to go? We're 1-0 up. And then we absolutely bottled it. And do you know what? When they scored that second goal to put them in the lead, I just laughed. I genuinely just laughed. It was the most Coventry City thing I'd ever seen. Now, this is 23rd out of 30. It could probably be about 15th, 16th, because I'm not really a big fan of the Carabao Cup. But they got Chelsea away in the next round. We would have played Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in the next round. It was just an awful week. And Hamer left like a day later as well. It was his last game. We were singing signing the contract. He didn't care. He just cared about the money. 22, Preston North End. Of course, Preston had to be low down. This was not a good day. Considering we scored 2 goals and we played really well in parts, we just never seemed to win at Preston. Should have drew this game as well. The referee gave away a penalty when McFadzean didn't even touch their player. I feel like a lot of crazy things will happen before the time we actually beat Preston. I hope one day in my lifetime I actually beat them at Deepdale as well. But like I said, we played really well. It was actually a massive turning point in the season. We then went to lose 1 of our next 16 games after this. So, yeah. 21st, Ipswich Town. This was the game we lost in the next 16, and we'd won a couple on the bounce. We kept the same team, and then coming up against a high-flying Ipswich side, we just changed the team massively. Randomly, Yasin Ayari started. Ipswich scored one of the best goals I saw this season, and we missed a penalty. It just wasn't our day. Fair play to Ipswich on their promotion, and good luck next season. 20th, West Bromwich Albion. I feel like we never win here either, but West Brom, it's a local away game, and I'm kind of glad that they've not gone up. We were just so poor that night. I remember Cov fans around me fighting each other. It really wasn't a good night at all. Overall though, I think the better team did win on the night. West Brom were a decent side, and I actually forgot we even scored. 19th, Shrewsbury Town. So the first of the 4 pre-season games on this list, and the reason Shrewsbury's below the rest is simply because we didn't win. Just like Preston, West Brom, we never win at Shrewsbury either. And I was even saying this on the day. Obviously, there wasn't anything at stake in this game, but a forgettable 1-1 draw with Shrewsbury. 18th, Sheffield Wednesday in the FA Cup. I honestly can't tell you how frustrating it is drawing a team away from home in the same league as you in any cup competition. It's just the excitement of the draw, you know, playing a team you wouldn't usually play. But we played Sheffield Wednesday 4 times in 5 weeks. This game was a night game for some reason. Can't remember why. The only positive from this game was new signing Victor Torp scoring an absolute screamer. We actually drew this game as well, which meant we had to go and play Sheffield Wednesday at home again. Like we hadn't had enough of Sheffield Wednesday. 17th, Swansea City. This one's actually a little bit forgettable, and that's why it's so down on the list. It wasn't a great away day, to be honest. The atmosphere wasn't unbelievable. It's decent from the home fans, don't get me wrong. Swansea's another one of them places, like I've mentioned already, that we don't win at. Looking back now, really decent point, but it's kind of got to go mid-table for me. 16th, Hull City. Now, Hull scored an 87th minute equaliser in this game. I did actually think they were the better side. Joel Atabodiere gave us the lead, but apart from that, Hull dominated. And the reason this is so high is because I think it was a really decent point. The atmosphere was actually quite good from both sets of fans. A little bit good we didn't win this game. Quite interesting now to see what happens to Hull next season as Liam Rashinia has gone. Their main core of players, which was mainly loan players, also departing the club. So interesting to see what happens to the Tigers. 15th, Forest Green Rovers. Honestly, I hope I never ever have to go to Forest Green ever again in my life. We won this game 4-0. Sims scored a brace, a Bikwu scored. First Cov game in ages. There's so many positives about this game, and yet it's still mid-table here. Obviously it's a friendly, there's nothing at stake. I actually had a really good day. I enjoyed the vlog as well. The vlog actually turned out really good on this one. This was my first vlog back, really. I know I did the Luton game at Wembley, but this was the first one of the season. Just, we didn't even sell out. Like, that's how keen people were to go. 14th, Southampton. Jake Bidwell, he finally scored. That's why it's so high on this list. I know we lost, but Southampton were brilliant. They had some quality players in that squad, and Bidwell scored. The absolute scenes when he scored. Limbs. 13th, Exeter City. At the time, I thought this was actually a really good test. Exeter were a decent side. We went 1-0 up, they brought it back to 1-1, and we scored a late winner from Ben Sheaf. I don't know though, I think it really summed pre-season up. I didn't have any new grounds. It was a long trip. You don't even get loyalty points as well, by the way, for these friendlies. I remember Milan Van Uwijk had just signed, so he was in the away end with us, but I don't know, looking back, wasn't brilliant. I like Exeter, lovely place, but it's just there. 12th, MK Dons. I'm going to be honest here, a little bit of an unpopular opinion. Please don't unsubscribe, because I'm probably going to go to this place another 10 times. And if you're not subscribed already, do subscribe. But I don't like MK Dons away. There was that 1-0 where we took about 10 million fans and Biamu scored a scrappy goal. But other than that, I mean, I've been there in like the leasing.com trophy, we lost. Been there in the league, we lost. This one, we beat them 5-1. It was good to see Bradley Stretton score. Sakamoto absolutely tore their fullbacks apart. But we were playing a League 2 side, and there, again, is no competitive edge to this game. Brilliant stadium, awful home fans, awful club. 11th, Stoke City. Just missing out on the top 10 spot. The first league away game we've won in this list so far. Stoke, for me, is such an easy away day. I study at Staffordshire Uni, so if I wanted to, I could literally walk to the Bet365. It felt like a 0-0. Like, Sims was gifted the goal. It was 2 very poor sides on the day. Stoke away has been better in previous years. I remember the 2-0 last season when Jamie Allen and Hamer scored. That was a fantastic away day. Top 5 from last season for me. But this one, it was just kind of there. It wasn't anything special. On to the top 10. And in 10th spot, we have Plymouth Argyle. Now, this game We were very poor. We were very, very poor. I felt so ill this day, and the drive home alone, it shouldn't be top 10. But away from that, Victor Torp crosses the ball into Liam Kitchen. Somehow it scrambles over the line in the 96th minute, and we rescue a point in a game we were very, very poor. Very surprised they brought Wayne Rooney in. I did not think that was a sort of appointment that a club like Plymouth would want, especially after staying up last year. We beat them at home, but it was a tough game. And this game, we didn't find ourselves in the lead at any point, considering it was a must-win game and we were favourites. Going into it, I was saying we have to win this game. Plymouth get themselves in the lead. Sims brings it back. And I'm like, all right, we've got to build on it. And we just absolutely collapsed. Plymouth make it 2-1. Just the celebrations of a last-minute equaliser are fantastic, but I can't put it any higher. I am sorry. 9th, Sheffield Wednesday in the league. This one was a lot better than the cup game, like by far. Like obviously we won this game and it's a league game, so it's a little bit more competitive. Another unbelievable goal, this time from Ben Sheaf. I must say as well, like most of these away-ends are sold out, and we sold out Sheffield Wednesday's away-ends twice in a week, which is just unbelievable. That's just stuff only a big club like us can do. 8th, Leeds United. I tell you what, out of the top 10, this was our worst performance. We nicked a point off Leeds. And at one point, it looked like we could have nicked 3 points. For me, it's very interesting to see what Leeds are going to do next season now. Going to lose a lot of key players, but this just was unbelievable. Leeds were playing some good football at the time. They were up in that top 6. But just unbelievable scenes, unbelievable atmosphere from both sets of fans as well. Leeds away, I'm really looking forward to it next season. 7th, Huddersfield Town. I'm a huge, huge fan of Huddersfield away. It's one of my favourite away days. I'll be honest though, I think we were expected to win this game just like we did. I know we lost to the other 2 relegated sides, but at this stage of the season, it was a must win. We can't fault Huddersfield at all. You get £1 pies, by the way, at the end of the game. If you go to the kiosk at the end of the game, you get pies for £1. 2-0 up, Huddersfield get one back. Butterflies start going off thinking, come on, don't bottle this. And then Hadji gets the winner just near the end. Fantastic. I did want to put it higher, but the ones higher are just brilliant. 6th, Queen's Park Rangers. Now, this was our first away win of the season. I remember being absolutely buzzing after that result. It weren't great in the first half, but the link-up play between Jamie Allen and Ellis Sims in that second half was fantastic. By far, Jamie Allen's best game of the season. Love Loftus Road as well. Gets a lot of hate. An overhated ground, but I tell you, it's one of my favourites. 5th, Watford. Other than the fact we won this game, I can't really point why this one is 5th. It's not good enough to hit the top 4 because the other 4 are just miles better than every other away game this season. But I really enjoyed Watford. Ryan Porteous gave the Hornets the lead. And at that point, you're starting to think, oh, come on, we can't come here and not get anything. Penalty just before half-time. And then in the second half, we showed why we deserve to win, winning 2-1 on the day. 4th, Sunderland. Now, seasons gone by, a win at the Stadium of Light would probably be the best game of the season, but the 3 above this are just absolutely unreal. I can't go without mentioning this 3-0 win at Sunderland. Wasn't exactly on the levels of the 5-4 when Bakayoko scored. We've had some other good games against Sunderland, like a 2-1 win at home, the 1-0 win at St Andrews in recent years. It was kind of around Christmas time as well. We were really starting to get in a decent run of form. If Stadium of Light had a better away end, it'd probably be top 3, but 4th place for me and hopefully another win there next season. 3rd, Middlesbrough. Well then, we're moving on to the top 3, and Middlesbrough away was unbelievable. We started really poorly actually. Middlesbrough were battering us. It actually felt like men against boys until Borough took the lead. Second half, we just turned things around. We looked like the better side, made the right changes, and that cross from Bidwell into Sakamoto for that 3rd goal was just unbelievable. It was a great away day. Nothing will ever top that playoff semi-final against Middlesbrough really. On to the top 2 now, and it's quite obvious what's first, but number 2 is Millwall. I'll be honest, Millwall and Middlesbrough away were both top away days. It's really hard to take them apart, but Millwall is second simply because of the situation we were in at the time. We'd had some really poor results, and away from home, things weren't looking good. We'd even lost 2-0 to Rotherham. And this was a game where I felt like we really started to kick on and get these results. Atmosphere was good, really good day out, and 3 goals from Godden, Sheaf and Sakamoto. And finally, without a shadow of a doubt, in that first spot is going to be Wolves away in the quarter-final of the FA Cup. This game is by far the best Coventry City game this season. Going away to a Premier League team and winning as a Championship side is one thing. Winning a local derby is another thing. That's not me saying that Wolves and Coventry is a big derby, by the way. It's just a local derby. Get what I mean? We obviously go 1-0 up. Wolves bring it back to 2-1. And then somehow late on, we're pushing. Jose Styles making save after save after save. Finally, a ball into Ellis Sims makes it 2-2.
2 goals. Sensational.
And from this point on, I'm feeling all right. You know what? We were 2-1 down. We just needed that one big chance. We got it. We'll go to extra time. And Hadji won us the game. The atmosphere was so nervy. I'm going to be perfectly honest. It wasn't a great atmosphere compared to some of the other away games. Look, if we'd have won the FA Cup semi-final, if the FA weren't corrupt, that'd be by far the best Coventry City game I've been to. But simply because we beat Wolves that day, this one has to be up there with your Notts County, your Middlesbrough, the 2 Wembley wins, the FA Cup 87 final if you're that old. Just an unbelievable day, and I really hope we get some more away days like this because that was insane. Anyway, that is it for this list. That is all 30 away games from last season ranked. If you want to watch any Coventry City videos from last season, there is a playlist just here on the screen. If you're a super fan and you've seen them all, here's a video that you might also like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in a bit.